Hello everyone. In this presentation, I am explaining chapter 1st of volume 3, Analysis of Financial Statement. Chapter 1st is Financial Statements of a Company. In 11th, we learn how to prepare balance sheet of a sole proprietor. A sole proprietor prepares his balance sheet in horizontal form, in which left hand side is liabilities and right hand side is assets. But balance sheet of a company is prepared in vertical form, which have two parts in place of two sides. First part is equity and liability, and second part is assets. In equity and liabilities, there are four major heads. First head, shareholders fund. Second, share application money pending allotment. Third, non-current liabilities. Fourth, current liabilities. And in assets parts, there are only two major heads. First, non-current assets and second, current assets. Now, I am explaining one by one all of these items. First, major head is shareholders fund. Its subheads are share capital, reserves and surplus, and money received against share warrants. Share capital. Share capital are shown in notes to accounts in three categories. First, authorized capital or nominal capital or registered capital. Means capital which is written in the memorandum of association of company under capital clause. It is the maximum amount of capital which a company can collect from shareholders. Next, issued capital means capital which is issued by company to collect money from shareholders. It can be equal to or less than authorized capital. And last, subscribed capital means capital which is taken by shareholders out of issued capital. It can be equal to or less than issued capital. It means authorized capital is the maximum, then issued capital may be less than or equal to authorized capital, and subscribed capital may be equal to or less than issued capital. But issued capital cannot be more than authorized capital. In the same way, subscribed capital cannot be more than issued capital. Subscribed capital is shown under following two heads in notes to accounts. First, subscribed and fully paid up capital means company called full face value of share from the shareholder and shareholder paid full face value to company. For example, face value of share of a company is ₹10 and company called full face value of ₹10 from shareholders and shareholder paid ₹10. It means company called full face value from the shareholder and shareholder paid full face value. Second is subscribed but not fully paid up. It has two types of categories in which first company did not call full face value of share. For example, face value of share of a company is ₹10 and company did not call full face value of share but called only ₹8. In second category, company called full face value of share from shareholders but shareholders did not pay full face value to company. For example, face value of share of a company is ₹10 and company called full face value of ₹10 from shareholder. But some shareholders did not pay full face value but only paid ₹8. All these types of capital are shown by following example. By this example, we can understand how capital is presented in notes to accounts. Example is XYZ Limited has authorized capital of ₹20 lakhs divided into 1 lakh equity share of ₹10 each and 9% 10,000 preference share of ₹100 each. Out of this, company issued 90,000 equity share and 9,009% preference share to public. Company called full face value of rupees 10 on equity share, but called only 90 rupees on preference share. Company received full amount on equity share except rupees 3 on 10,000 equity share and rupees 10 on 500 preference share. It is shown in notes to account of share capital as under. Authorized capital. In our example, authorized capital is given as 1 lakh equity share of rupees 10 each, 10 lakh rupees, 10,000 9% preference share of rupees 100 each, 10 lakh, total 20 lakh. Issued capital. Out of 1 lakh equity share, company issued only 90,000 equity share or rupees 10 each, 9 lakh rupees. And from these 90,000 shares, some shareholders paid full money and some not paid full money. So these are presented in subscribed capital. Subscribed and fully paid up capital. 80,000 equity share of is 10 each, 8 lakh. These are such shareholders who pay full money, which is called by the company. Out of these 90,000, 80,000 paid full money and 10,000 did not pay full money. These are shown in subscribed but not fully paid up. 10,000 equity share of is 10 each, 1 lakh, and less calls in arrears on 10,000 share rupees 3 each, 30,000. After deducting is 70,000. So 80,000 and 10,000 is 90,000. These 90,000 are shown in this way. Now preferential, 9,000 9% preferential issued out of 10,000 shares is 9 lakh. Total issued capital will be 18 lakh. On this 9,000 preferential, company did not call full face value of rupees 100 but only called rupees 90. So it is presented in subscribed but not fully paid up because company did not call full face value. So it is shown as 9,000 9% preference share of 100 each, 90 called up. So we multiply 9,000 into 90 rupees 8 lakh 10,000 less call scenario on 500 shares at the rate of 10 per share 5,000. After deducting 5,000 from 8 lakh 10,000 remains 8 lakh 5,000. 8 lakh 70,000 and 8 lakh 5,000 are 16 lakh 75,000, which is shown in share capital in balance sheet. After share capital, second major head is reserves and surplus. And reserve and surplus includes capital reserve. Capital reserves are the reserve which is created out of capital profit. Means when a company sold any capital assets, for example sold building, and some profit is earned because of sale of building, then such profit can be transferred to capital reserve. Second, capital redemption reserve. Company has to redeem its preference share and company can buy back its equity share from public. And for this, company has to prepare a capital redemption reserve. Next one, securities premium reserve means when company issued its share more than its face value, such excess money is called security premium reserve. Next, debenture redemption reserve. It is same as capital redemption reserve. Capital redemption reserve is prepared for redemption of equity share and preference share. Debenture redemption reserve is prepared for redemption of debentures. Next, revaluation reserve. It is the reserve which is created out of upward revision of assets. Next, surplus, that is balance in statement of profit and loss. Means balance available in statement of profit and loss out of payment of all the expenses created and after creating all reserves. Third subhead is money received against share warrants. Share warrants are such financial instrument which gives the holder a right to acquire equity share at a later date and at a predetermined price. Second major head is share application money pending allotment. It means when a company issued its share and received application money before the end of financial year, for example before 31st March, but allotting share to shareholder in next financial year after 31st March, then this money is shown in share application money pending allotment. For example, when a company issued its share in March 20 but did not allot share up to 31st March 20 but in next financial year, so this money is shown under share application money pending allotment. Third major head is non-current liabilities. Subheads are long-term borrowings, deferred tax liabilities, other long-term liabilities, and long-term provision. Now I am explaining one by one all these items. First, long-term borrowings. Such borrowings are called long-term borrowings which are payable after 12 months from the date of balance sheet or after operating cycle of company. It includes debentures, bonds, term loans from bank or from other parties, public deposits, and other loans and advances. Second subhead is deferred tax liability net. Every year, accounting income is compared with taxable income. Taxable income means income as per Income Tax Act. And if taxable income is less than accounting income, then tax on such difference is called deferred tax liability. Third subhead is other long-term liabilities. Long-term liabilities other than long-term borrowings are shown under this head. It includes trade payables if payable after 12 months from the date of balance sheet or after operating cycle. For example, when a company purchases goods under an agreement that company is paying payment of such goods after 18 months, then these are shown under other long-term liabilities. Next, premium payable on redemption of debentures. If debentures are shown as long-term borrowings. Next, premium payable on redemption of preference shares if payable after 12 months from the date of balance sheet or after operating cycle. Next major head is long-term provisions. You already learned in 11th that provision is the amount set aside to meet future liabilities, the amount of which cannot be determined with accuracy but estimated. It includes provision for gratuity or provision for earned leave. All of these are called provision for retirement benefits. Gratuity means when an employee retires from the company pays some amount to him from their side is called gratuity. Next, provision for warranty. Next and last major head of equity liability part is current liabilities. Subheads are short-term borrowings, trade payables, other current liabilities, short-term provisions. Now I am explaining one by one all the items of current liability. First, short-term borrowings. Such borrowings are called short-term borrowings which are payable within 12 months from the date of balance sheet or within operating cycle of the company. It includes loans repayable on demand, bank overdraft or cash credit from banks, loans from other parties repayable within 12 months from the date of loan, deposits, and other loans and advances. Second subhead is trade payables, means the amount payable against purchase of goods or services taken in the normal course of the business. It includes sundry creditors and bills payable. Third subhead is other current liabilities. Current liabilities other than short-term borrowings and trade payables are shown under this head. It includes current maturities of long-term debts. Current maturities of long-term debts means when a company takes loan for long-term and installment which is payable in next 12 months from the date of balance sheet is called current maturities of long-term debts. Next, interest accrued but not due on borrowings. It is the interest which is outstanding but not due. Means suppose date of payment of interest each year is 31st December and year ending is 31st March. So the interest between the time from 1st January to 31st March is outstanding but not due because interest is due only on 31st December each year. So it is called interest accrued but not due on borrowing. Next, interest accrued and due on borrowing means interest due on 31st March but not paid. Next, income received in advance. Next, unpaid unclaimed dividend. Next, excess application money which is due for a refund and interest. In earlier slide, there is second major heads which is share application money pending allotment. And if any excess money received which has to be refunded, so it is shown under excess application money which is due for refund and interest thereon. Next, unpaid mature deposit and interest accrued thereon. Unpaid mature deposit means time period of the deposits is completed but the person from whom deposits are taken is not traceable, so company is not paid money to him. Next, unpaid mature deposit and interest accrued thereon. Next, calls in advance. Next, other payables means outstanding expenses, provident fund payable, ASIC payable, GST payable, etc. Last subhead of non-current liabilities is short-term provisions. Again, provision is the amount set aside to meet future liabilities, the amount of which cannot be determined with accuracy but estimated. It includes provision for employee benefits, provision for expenses, provision for tax, other provisions.